Good evening. We will have prayer and pledge. Prayer is going to be led by Councilman Balls, please, and the pledge will be led by Councilwoman Garcia.
Okay, if you don't mind, you join me, please bow your heads. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, we turn to you this evening so we can do the city's work and look over all our citizens and our manager and everybody that work for the city of Saginaw, and please follow them in their footsteps and make sure they be safe and help us do your will here tonight. We ask you in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Sylvia is absent. Councilmember Williams is absent. Councilmember Balls.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Bench.
Present.
Councilmember Ostash.
Present.
Councilmember Garcia.
Present.
Councilmember Flores.
Present.
Councilmember Copeland.
Present.
And Mayor Moore.
Present.
You have 7 present, 2 absent.
Thank you. This is a public meeting of the City Council. Audience must refrain and remain quiet, refrain from speaking, booing, any obnoxious behavior. Before we get going, I want to do some housekeeping. Council persons, please put your phones as well as your iPad on silent. Audience, I could just ask you guys to do it. So if you could put your phones on silent, because I need a new phone. I had another accident with mine. I'm going to start claiming phones. Madam Clerk, do we have any announcements?
We have a couple. The first is that city offices will be closed this Thursday, November 23rd, and Friday, November 24th for the Thanksgiving holiday. The yard waste collection for 2023 has been extended by 1 week. Your last day to place yard waste at the curb will be the week of December 4th on your regularly scheduled collection day. There was a typo in consent agenda item number 1. The regular council minutes on the agenda for approval are for the November 6th meeting, not today's meeting. It originally said the 20th. And we have a proclamation on the agenda. It's recognizing December 1st, 2023 as World AIDS Day.
Can I get the representative to step to the podium, please? And it will be read by Councilman Ostash.
Thanks, Mayor, and welcome. City of Saginaw proclamation, whereas World's AIDS Day takes place on the 1st of December each year, it's an opportunity for people worldwide to unite and fight against HIV, to show support for people living with and affected by HIV, and to remember those who lost their lives to AIDS. And whereas this year's theme for World AIDS Day is World AIDS Day 35, Remember and Commit. The world can end AIDS with communities leading the way. This year marks the 35th commemoration of this important day. And whereas over the past 35 years, there has been significant progress in addressing HIV and AIDS, thanks to advancements in medical research, increased access to treatment and prevention, and a broader understanding of the virus. And whereas we have seen countless examples of how community activism and solidarity have once again been paramount in providing people affected by HIV with information, services, social protection, and hope. On World AIDS Day, we are reminded that no challenge can defeat the unyielding American spirit. Together, we will continue to work on progress in our efforts to find a cure for HIV/AIDS, and to ensure that all Americans live healthier and happier lives. And whereas we are thankful for organizations like Great Lakes Bay Health Centers that offer prevention, treatment, and counseling for HIV. This includes medical care, on-site laboratory, medication, insurance, testing, transportation assistance, and other supportive services. We thank them for the commitment to support those living with and affected by HIV and AIDS. Now therefore, be it resolved, I, Brenda F. Moore, Mayor of the City of Saginaw, do hereby proclaim December 1st, 2023 as World AIDS Day. In the City of Saginaw, and urge all residents of our community to join me and to join me in appropriate activities to remember those who have lost their lives to AIDS and to provide support and compassion for those living with HIV. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Saginaw to be affixed this 20th day of November in the year of our Lord, 2023. Signed by Brenda F. Moore, the Mayor of Saginaw, council members Annie E. Bench, Mayor Pro Tem, Michael D. Balls, George Copeland Jr., Michael Flores, Priscilla Garcia, Monique Lamar Sylvia, Bill Ostash, and Reggie Williams II, and our city manager, Timothy Morales.
Can you step up and start the stand?
Thanks again. Thanks for all your work.
I should have known you was here for something.
Thank you for all you do, darling.
Anytime you're ready, you can get your back.
Yeah, thanks, Alberto.
Can you say something, sir?
I get so nervous up here.
Since when?
Thank you, everybody. Mayor, Brenda, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, Manager, Tim Morales. Thank you so much. Just want to let everybody know that Great Lakes Bay Health Centers / Hearth Home location, we provide free HIV testing for anybody. And also that we now are the linkage to PrEP, which is a pill now that you can take to prevent HIV. So we are definitely pushing that here in the city of Saginaw. Thank you so much and have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Madam Clerk,
Mayor, that takes us to public input.
speakers, you will be called to the podium by a clerk, at which time you have 3 minutes. I will give you a couple seconds to wrap up. You have 3 minutes. Please do not direct any comments or criticisms to any of the council members or anyone of the staff at this time. Madam Clerk.
Our first speaker is Lisa Ingram.
All right. Good evening, Mayor Moore and City Council members.
Good evening.
I am Lisa Ingram, President of the Saginaw Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is a national public service sorority founded on the campus of Howard University in 1913. The Saginaw chapter was chartered on October 28, 1967, to serve the Saginaw area. On behalf of the chapter, I want to thank Mayor Moore for coming to our 55th anniversary celebration and presenting us with a proclamation. We were very happy you joined us in celebrating 55 years of service, scholarship, sisterhood, and social action in the city of Saginaw. Thank you.
That red sure look good out there. Madam Clerk.
Our next speaker is Shatoris Jackson.
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Yes. I know I spoke with you prior concerning some of the same issues, but this time it's concerning the roof program, with it ending sooner than it should, because we had a lot of nice days that some roofs could have been done. And then to go into, I did a FOIA request based on that. And the employee residency, I did look up that law. It does state that you cannot mandate that a person stay in the city, but you can mandate that they live within 20 miles of a designated location. And I see that you just did a union. You had your union contract done. And it's not in there. But I did read that if you wanted to add it, some of the people will be grandfathered in. But I think by law, if you're going to mandate it for one, you mandate it for all. So that might be a void in that contract with the union. I'm not sure, but I know it'll be addressed. Like I said, I'm not here to talk about a lot at this particular time because I want more information before I speak. But I do I did look up the employee residency, and it's not against the law to mandate a certain amount of time, distance. And I think it's 20 miles from the location, which I think would be City Hall for everybody. And you have to live within 20 miles from there to be a resident, to be an employee. Thank you. Have a blessed one.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Cornethia Harvey.
You guys have the published reports?
Yes.
This is my third time coming here with the same complaint with the police officers. I came here on September the 11th, November the 6th, and November the 20th. I don't normally come out like this, but I did a little research to find out what the city council members supposed to do in the community, which is one of them supposed to be monitoring city agencies, like, for example, the police officer department, to ensure that they are effectively serving the community. I was chased out the store here, attacked. I went in the store here, let me see, on February the 10th, 2021, and it's 23 now. And I made a police report that day when I went in that store on James Street, Shop and Stop, store on James Street on the east side. And the employee came from around the desk and attacked me with a golf club. I called the police. Police wrote up a report, and he ain't put nothing on there I said. And I the one called him. You can turn on page 3 or 4, and you will see that my statement ain't on here at all. And I the one called the police. And I the one was chased out the store by this employee at the store because he thought I was somebody else. Because they say we all look alike. I don't think so. I look like a Beavers. And when you say our name in the community, there's a lot of people know us. And we all look alike, all 7 of us. Now, my car look like maybe your car. Nothing's been done about this. He chased me out the store, I ran out. When I seen that golf thing go up like this, the golf club. I ran out the store, he couldn't catch me, so he attacked my vehicle and damaged my vehicle. The police report say I went to his car, I don't even know him. I don't know his car. It said I went to his car and let out tires and all that damage, but there wasn't no damage there. That's what the police report said. I ain't do nothing, but went in the store here in Saginaw. And that store's still open, right today. I didn't get to the rubbish, but I must just say this about the rubbish. Everybody should be paying their own trash bill, because each and every last one of us have trash. When I lived in Grand Rapids, and I was just renting, we had to pay for our trash.
Okay.
And so that's just a suggestion that y'all should try to adopt them. Check them out in Grand Rapids, instead of charging us all this money. Yeah, I don't appreciate paying for other people's trash.
Thank you, Ms. Harvey.
Our next speaker is Fatimata Carthrone.
Hello. How are you?
My name is Fatimata Carthrone. This is the
Can you
first
step
time.
up closer so we can hear you?
My name is Fatimata Carthrone. This is the first time I came to this meeting. I didn't even know about that there's a place where you can actually come and sit and get your voice to be heard. I'm a mother of 7. my oldest is 18 and my youngest is 3-month-old. And I have three of my kids that's in high school. So I have a lot of teenage kids that look up to me like a godmother, because I go around, buy houses, fix them up, and sell them. So some of these young guys, they come with me to help clean up those houses, and I give them $150 to $300. So I look here in Saginaw, it's a lot of bad stuff that is happening, and everything is being done a lot by kids that are young. Like, you have kids 17 years old, 16 years old, shooting each other's. Because I feel like there is no activities for them to take part of. And a lot of time, some of these kids, they always end up being in a house of somebody that they look up to because they get to have their way. I have a daughter, her name is Khadija. She just turned 14 September 21st. But I have been going through a lot with my daughter due to her going to teenage and all the things that's going on with kids when they reach a certain age. She end up, my oldest daughter seen her phone, some appropriate messages on her phones that has something to do with a boy that is 17 or 19 years old. And that person's parent is supposed to be a real model to the community. But then when law enforcement gets involved, the first thing they say, they want to give their title to make the police officer feel some type of way, intimidate them. Like yesterday, I got searched. My entire body got searched with my 6 children in the car by police officers. I didn't have nothing on. Because somebody called and said I had a gun. When they came, they say, you know what? The callers that made a call, she sounds so weird that we know it's not true, but protocol, we have to search you. 6 police cars. And that happened because of this lady, Annie, Miss Annie. I heard what you said. You said you said do not address the issue or do not name no name. But how can you voice yourself if you can't speak the truth? She called the police. I came to pick up my daughter that was supposed to be hanging out with her children. And then she refused for me to get my child. She said, you can't get your kid.
We need you to wrap it up, ma'am.
So wrap it up. She opened the door, trying to run in her house.
Excuse me, stop.
She hit
Stop.
herself in the chin, and she called the police.
Officer,
telling you, she
Chief
called the police.
Ruth,
Yes.
can you escort her out?
She called the police.
Thank you so
And
much.
They searched me with all my kids in the car. Not once have I touched her. There is a police incident report. This is it, stop. This is the problem with the city, where you cannot voice yourself. She called me names and said, this N-word touched me. And you're sitting among us black people.
Madam Clerk,
Our next speaker is Danita Dorsey.
Good evening, City Council. Good evening. My name is Danita Dorsey. I'm a city resident. I am also a member of Community Alliance for the People, known in the community as CAP. And I stand here before you this evening to personally invite you to a town hall meeting that we are having on this Monday, November 27th at 5 p.m. in partnership with CAC. That meeting will be held at CAC, and the topic of that meeting is opioid usage and opioid settlement funds that have come to the state of Michigan and that we know have come and will continually be coming to the city of Saginaw. The last time drugs flooded our community, it was called a war on drugs. And a lot of people in our community were criminalized even for the usage of drugs. This time, drugs have flooded our community and it's been called an epidemic. And so we want to make sure that the community partners with our city council, because we know ultimately you make the decision on how those funds will be used. We want to make sure that those funds are used for best practices for what the city of Saginaw, for what our community needs. We know there has been guidance from the state that 85% of those funds need to be for opioid remediation. and that 70% needs to be for future spending in opioid remediation, and they have given us a definition of what that is. They have also given us a guideline for spending principles, which include spending money to save lives, use evidence to guide spending, invest in youth prevention, focus on racial equity, and develop a fair and transparent process for deciding where to spend the funding. We have invited our school leaders, we have invited the Saginaw County Coalition, we have invited mental health professionals, we have invited other advocacy groups, Families Against Narcotics, because we believe the community as a whole needs to be a part of this conversation on how we spend this opioid settlement funding that is here in our community. So again, we hope to see you on Monday, November 27th at 5 o'clock at CAC to help continue to move this community forward in the right direction. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Julian Morris.
Good evening, Council. My name is Julian Morris. I'm 16 years old. I'm a junior at Saginaw High School, and I'm the CEO and editor-in-chief of Swag Magazine. I know it's been a while since you've seen me, but last time I was here, I made a promise to this council that I'd be watching over the ARPA funding for a youth organization, and I'm here to keep my word and give a little report from the youth side of things. So first, I want to thank this council again for investing in youth in the community. The Urine program had a great summer with ARPA funds. One of my cousins was employed, and he enjoyed it very much. The young people, they helped work the Cat Block Party. They did some gardening, neighborhood cleanup, and learned some cooking skills. So that was a great investment, and I hope to see the Urine continue. First Ward has been making some big upgrades to their building, which was much needed, and their after-school program is going good. They had an employment and leadership program for young people this summer, and they've expanded their services to youth, so that's going good as well. CSC, they've been doing some great things for young people too. I was able to attend a conference for young men, and they had a few months ago, and they were able to do a lot with young leadership and development, especially with some Women of Colors is doing a great job being impactful in the city. Their coat drive was a huge success, and they've had some mental health workshops, youth workshops, and they've been engaging in the STEM activities going on. I'd have to say the NABE, they've had the most impact with their ARPA funds. They've had a new gaming room, full after-school program that includes STEM and the kids from First Ward attending with some STEM days. They also have tutoring for math and English, and they've been feeding programs. And they take really good care of the kids over there and giving them a lot to do. The NABE is becoming what you imagine, and a community center to be kids, and it's exciting to watch unfold in person. I've not been to the Big Brothers Club, Big Sisters, or the Boys and Girls Club, or Houghton Jones, so I don't know what they're doing, but I will be making my rounds. What I've seen so far has been good, but I believe there's still more we can do as a community for the young people. This is a good start, and we need this council to continue to invest in all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Lisa Purchase Kelly.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, Mr. Morales.
Good evening.
Thank you for your time, both in listening tonight and in all the work you do for this city. I'm Lisa Purchase Kelly. I'm the director at Major Chords for Minors. We provide free music lessons and instruments for 3rd through 12th graders in Saginaw. In front of you, you'll find a small brochure and also a letter of support from a parent involved with our program. And following me, you'll hear from Major Chords for Minors student Jamal Robbins and his mother Latrice. We are all Saginaw City residents. Major Chords for Minors has been in operation in Saginaw for over 12 years, which for a small nonprofit, that's like dog years. That's 87 years in the real world. However you do the math, it's an incredibly long time for a tiny organization to stay afloat, serving almost 1,500 Saginaw kids with free music lessons and instruments over the course of that time. Despite the lessons being free to students, they are not free to us. While we do have wonderful volunteers who help out in other areas of the studio, our teachers and core staff are not volunteers. We employ experienced professional music instructors who provide one-on-one attention in our student-led half-hour lessons. For some students, this is quality face-to-face interaction they are not getting anywhere else. This is not screen time. This is not a classroom environment with 30 other students. This is focused interaction that is just about them. They help choose the music they want to learn, the pace they want to work at, and how, when, and if they want to perform. Each student's goals differ, but they are all offered the ability to thrive in whatever way suits them best. That's just one of the unique advantages we provide students without economic barriers to entry. Participation in music provides a myriad of benefits to kids. Statistically better academic and social success, access to the creative process, increased confidence, self-awareness, and coping skills. The kids who practice and perform with our band ensembles learn the art of collaboration, leadership, and performance. By providing a safe and supportive third space in downtown Saginaw that is not home or school, Major Chords for Minors helps address youth issues of mental health, academic improvement, and crime prevention. Many, many households in Saginaw can't afford this service. The cost of music lessons is steep, and the cost of instruments is even more out of reach. This is a value add to the entire household when their kids have access to programs that really help them. When kids are doing better, families are doing better. And families who are doing better are more inclined to stay where they are, raise their kids and work where they are, and invest in a community that invests in them. While we can all acknowledge the basic needs for food, shelter, housing, and safety, it is often harder to identify the things that contribute to the vibrancy of a place. A community needs to be about more than just surviving. It needs to also be about thriving. Major Chords for Minors has helped a lot of kids and families thrive over the course of our 12 years, but in our position of post-pandemic recovery and a wholesale change in leadership, we are now struggling to survive these transitions. We are striving to get back to our previous levels of service to the community, and we ask for consideration in possible allocation of ARPA funds or other city funds that may become available. Major Chords for Minors does a lot with a little and is a youth organization deserving of consideration. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Latrice Robbins.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm here today, Jamal Robbins' mother, who is now 14, and he has been a part of Major Chords for Minors since he was 8 years old. At the time, I was a student at Saginaw Valley State University working part-time, and so looking at the price of music lessons was pretty expensive and out of my budget at that time. And so a friend of mine suggested Major Chords for Minors. Jamal was on the list for maybe a couple of months because there wasn't a spot open at that time, but when a spot became available, the excitement on his face knowing that at that time, knowing how to play 0 instruments and starting the journey, I believe he started out with the drums. And now today, Jamal can play 14 instruments. Thanks to Major Chords for Minor. Also, after the pandemic, when Major Chords for Minors reopened, Jamal also was able to become a part of the band. And I still remember that day, him running out of the building and coming to the van, and Mom, guess what? I'm a part of the band now. And so now he has practices, individual practices every week. He has band practice every week. And then they also have the opportunity to play at various places throughout Saginaw County, and it's a passion of his. He enjoys music, and he'll tell you himself when he comes up here, like, music is his thing. It's in him. He was born with that music ability in him, and so that makes me happy as a parent that Major Chord for Minors is able to support my son in that way. Also, I have another son, Caden, who is 6, who is also awaiting to turn 8 years old so that he can also take music lessons like his brother as well. So thank you for your time. Good evening.
Thank you.
Our final speaker is Jamal Robbins.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jamal Robbins. I am a resident here in the community. I do go to Major Chords for Minors to take free lessons. I did start when I was 8, and I had so much fun. I got to learn a lot, not just about like music, but also about different life skills. So it's not just a program about music and learning about that, but you also get to meet new people. You also get to, I felt like some stranger actually like really like cared about me for real. when I went there, like, it's not a job for them. They actually truly care about you. And so that's what I love about it. You also, like I said, meet new people, and those people become your friends, which eventually turn into your family. And so it really impacted my life, not just musically. Like my mother said, I can play now 14 different instruments. Major Chorus of Minors was what helped me get that boost. So I did join the band, play a lot of different instruments in there too. And we do have an event coming up. We're going to be playing at Party on McCarty on December the 1st, yeah. So I did want to invite you guys to that. And yeah, Major Chorus of Minors has a big impact on the community and on students, and it gives them something to care about and feel loved about. So thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I knew you looked special for some reason. Madam Clerk,
We are now at council remarks.
council members, you have 3 minutes as well, and you are also being timed. You don't get to wrap up. You got 3 minutes. We'll begin tonight with Councilman Balls.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to thank all the citizens for coming out and speaking to us today and telling you about your endeavors and things that's going on in the community. We really appreciate that. You know, there's a lot of things going on in the community a lot of people don't know about. But when you come, we get the word out and we can keep spreading this thing. I'm so happy to hear about the Major Chorus for Minors. It's beautiful to see the testimonies of the family, the director, and the child to come here and talk about the program, knowing that when he's doing music, he don't have time to be doing some other things that some kids are doing. You know, he's in a positive environment, and it's going to go on to his little brother. That's a beautiful thing. That's what we like to hear, especially when we hear about our money going to those type of programs to improve our city. So hopefully things will be happening your way. I'm hoping that with some of the city council, maybe we can do that. But this weekend, I had the opportunity to attend the Come Out, Stay Out program at Saginaw Valley. And it's always good to see people involved in other people's lives, especially the citizens that's returning from incarceration for crimes that they committed. Everybody knows it only take 2 or 3 seconds to do something that may cost you a lifetime in jail or 5 or 6, 10 years or what have you. But when those people are locked up, their families are missing that person and their family. And when that happens, a lot of kids end up doing the crimes like the parents or whoever else did. But when these guys come out and they're trying their best to stay out, they're getting employed, they're doing things in the community, and it was really nice to be able to give these guys some awards for what they've been doing. You know, it may be, some people may think they should have been doing it anyway, but everybody don't have the wherewithal to do and stay on the straight path. Some of us go off to the side and to the left, and sometimes when we do that, we don't have people to push us back. And when parents are not at home, then that kid don't have nobody to push them back into the right place to be. So, you know, we're so happy that Mr. Morris, he's not quite a mister yet, but Mr. Morris, we appreciate what you've been doing in the community. We saw you the other day with our kids at the health program. You was interviewing and then I hate that I wasn't able to see you there. But the weather in Florida was not better than it was in Saginaw, so that's why I wasn't there. But anyway, thank you, Mr. Morris, for what you do in our community and continue to mentor our kids. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Councilman Ostash.
Thanks, Mayor, and welcome everybody to the chamber tonight. We've got a pretty full house. That's always nice to see, and everybody watching at home, welcome as well. Just want to start off tonight by saying thank you, Alberto, for coming and accepting the proclamation tonight. It's always a good time of the year to talk about PrEP, which you mentioned a little bit during your presentation to us. And if people don't know, it's 99.7% effective in preventing HIV if taken daily. So again, thank you for bringing that up. He's got lots of information if you want more, so visit him at the Hearth Home on Hoyt Avenue. Some of our other speakers, Danita and Julian, thank you for coming out and sharing all that information tonight. Julian, that was quite a breakdown. There's a lot of good things that's being done with that money out there. And you also mentioned the NABE. I haven't been there in a long time, but was able to help them also secure 10 PCs that helped build that lab that they put out there. And it was my organization, my employer, that did that. So thanks again for coming out and giving us an update. That was good to hear. Major Chorus for Minors, I in high school and my younger years did play an instrument as well, and I know the expense because we couldn't buy them, we had to rent them. And then at the end of the year, we'd give them back. But you're right, everything you're talking about, the pride that you get from playing the instrument, being involved, socially connected in the band, it's really important for our youth. So thank you for coming out and sharing your stories. Today, I want to thank the McDonald's Corporation and Tarsha Works and Ashrat. We did free turkey giveaways at McDonald's today, so that was a lot of fun. We had about 100 turkeys that we gave away, and it was really nice to see people's faces when they pulled up. And this past weekend was the Holiday in the Heart of the City celebration, so it was a wonderful event. Thanks to Downtown Saginaw Pride and everybody that puts that on. I know it's a lot of work, but boy, it was really well attended this year. I mean, the numbers are really up. And before my time is up, I got a minute left, I'm going to share a little history of the lighting ceremony of the city of Saginaw. So back in the 1930s, there was a gentleman that worked for the city of Saginaw. His name was Russell Lee. And he started this program that we are still doing now today in 2023. So, and it's become quite a spectacle, and everybody talks about it. But a little bit more history about him. He did retire in 1966. But his dad, Henry, was the mayor of Saginaw from 1904 to 1906. And a little bit further back, his dad's dad was Charles Lee, the lumber baron of the Lee Mansion. So it's kind of an interesting segue on how his descendants of that family is responsible for our lighting ceremony. Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Yeah, we try to eat the clock up too.
Watching.
Next, we have Councilwoman Garcia.
Good evening, concerned citizens of the community. Thank you for all our speakers that were in attendance, even the young gentleman that both spoke. It does take a lot of heart and courage to come up here. It's not always an easy task, especially with adults, but I really enjoy hearing you guys speak it at my heart because that's my pot of bucket. So at least I know if we have something where it's going and what cause it's gonna, take effect. And so thank you for that. And I gotta give my boo a birthday shout out yesterday, Ramon Rodriguez. We celebrated his birthday yesterday. Also, Christmas with Angels, if you guys know of any families, the deadline for applications is November 30th. You can go online and get an application, or you can go down to the SVRC Marketplace, Sparkle Rush, Wednesday through Friday. This week, I don't know, she'd probably be eating turkey, so I don't think she'll be open, but, you could go down there and pick up an application. So if you know any family in need, we do ask on the back, we do wanna know your story. We try to select new families every year, and it's getting bigger and bigger. We're actually gonna be at the Dow this year for it. This is our 7th year doing it. Shout out to Elvis Macko, the one in charge of doing it. I've been on the board with him for 7 years. And also, we are looking for volunteers December 15th for our wrapping paper. It is a process that we go through, so we select the families, the board, then we contact them and let them know we're our angel, we're gonna take them shopping, the family, whoever selected, the adult. And then we take all the presents back with us, and we have to actually wrap them all, and then Santa comes and we provide a meal. So it's a process to do, but we love it. We've been doing it for 7 years, so if you know of anybody that's in need, send them over there. Also, we're always looking for sponsors to help, and like I said, volunteering with wrapping. The first year, I had a family of 7, and I was there for a long time wrapping, and I think at the end of the day, I was maybe wrapping my fingers up. But, yep, so just want to say, and also to my Arvetta family, we lost my uncle yesterday, so just prayers, keep them in your prayers this evening and for the rest of the time coming. Happy Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays because I like to grub, so it's gonna be really good. Not just turkey this year, we're doing brisket. So excited, so make sure you enjoy your time with your loved ones because tomorrow's not promised, we don't know what's gonna happen. And just hug your little ones closer. Just thankful for my family and everybody in my support group that's there for me all the time. And my little grandson, so this will be his first good Thanksgiving that he can actually eat because he's 1 now, so he's got some teeth on him, and he shows them all the time like that to me. So excited for that, so just enjoy your holiday and just remember what it's all about, thankful and be blessed to still be here. Good night. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Next, we have Councilman Flores.
Thank you, Mayor. So for folks good evening, Saginaw. For folks that had heard Congressman Kildee is not going to be running next year, he was a great champion for this community. And so just a message to everybody that may be running, please keep us in mind, the city of Saginaw. We need a lot of attention. We need a lot of help. That's similar to what he was able to give us. Please keep that in mind. And then also, Councilwoman Lamar Silva is not here. She's still sick, so prayers to her. And then also, there's a lot of red in the audience. So to the manager, don't let that intimidate you for the game coming up. They will, U of M may win. We don't know yet. He's on his phone. So keep that in mind.
Just wait, sure.
It's not an omen. Not an omen. I'm not a betting man. I am, but we'll see what happens. And then last, just real quick, again, if anybody has any information on Keyshawn Banks, Quan Lee, Quay Smithers, Mario Bulger, Pamela Whitson, Ryan Clemens, Roy Whitson, Cortez Hampton, Mazzy Rudson, or Jonathan Lamar Van, please call 1-800-422-5245. That's Crime Stoppers. These are the folks that we still have this year that have been killed due to gun violence, and we're looking to solve their murders. And a lot of these folks have been under the age of 20. So please keep everyone in mind. And then last, for Ms. Dorsey to bring up the issue of addiction and the amount of money that we're going to be given, and something that's on our agenda tonight. Thank you for doing that. As people know, I used to be a heroin addict, and I had recovered. So it's just very important that people get the necessary resources that they can get in order to recover. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Councilman Copeland.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you to our public speakers. I do want to just jump into great job to the committee that hosted Holidays in the Heart of the City. Such an amazing time this year. This year, I saw the line. It was a pleasure to sit with our mayor and Anderson and Richmond Center for a time before the horse-drawn carriage line got outrageous. And so it was a pleasure just to share with the community. Thank you to those citizens who have completed the survey, our food access survey. The food access survey is now closed. But thank you to those who have spent time answering those questions for us. We greatly appreciate it. As Councilman Flores said, it is great to see the red in the house. When we took our pictures, I just want to throw it up for myself to represent the Divine Nine love that is here this evening and the work that you all continue to do. It was a pleasure to be at your celebration to see that you all have been in this community for 55 years doing amazing work, not only just in the city of Saginaw as well as on our campus at Saginaw Valley State University. Also, happy Thanksgiving to our residents. It is that time. I'm prepping. I've already purchased my Pepto and Lactate, and I'm just, I think I turned like 30 and my body just said, and it just changed up on me. So I'm excited to feast with my family. But most of all, it's a time of Thanksgiving. I find myself reflective during this time of just thankful to be alive, to be a part of this community, to be able to serve, to have family and loved ones. This past month has been a challenge. My granddad, who's 102, has been in and out of rehab, but he's out and home. And so we're just thankful. We're thankful to be able to spend time with our family. So even those who don't have family, I do encourage you, find community. I'm really thankful for community, whether it be a religious organization, recreation activity, find a community. There's something for everyone here in our community. And with that, have a great evening and happy Thanksgiving again.
Thank you. Next, we have Councilman Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving as well. My fellow council members pretty much covered everything, but I do want to say that Mr. Morris, thank you for giving us a report. I really appreciate the work that you do in the community, and I enjoy your social media presence as well. What we need to do is either clone you or make sure you don't grow up, or you're going to need to start mentoring somebody to take your spot, because we need a continuation of your efforts. That's right. So thank you. And on top of that, Ms. Dorsey, thank you for what it is that you put into your son. You all are seen pretty much everywhere together, and it's a beautiful thing to see a parent parenting the way that you are. So it is appreciated. Mr. Robbins, Jamal, impressive. Truly, truly impressive. And the organization, make sure I get it right, Major Chords for Minors. Thank you. Thank you for that. And young man, I hope that you stick with it for the rest of your life, because music is life. It is a inspirational, motivational. It just livens everything up. And 14 instruments, I don't know how many Prince played, but it sounds like you're close. So keep it up. And thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Williams. Next, we have Mayor Pro Tem Bench.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I too want to thank our public speakers for being here tonight, particularly Mr. Robbins and the crew from Major Chords for Minors. I can speak from firsthand experience. My kids are products of Major Chords for Minors, and it is a wonderful program that has shaped them and helped them to be the wonderful people that they are today. So I hope that if there are some considerations to be made, that they are not forgotten. But I also want to thank Ms. Dorsey and CAP for hosting this upcoming event. Mr. Bowles and I had a conversation a while back about the importance of having this conversation. And as somebody who's lost loved ones to this current drug crisis, it's timely, it's overdue, and I'm very glad that we're having that conversation. And I would echo all of the things Councilman Williams said about Mr. Morris, because he is a fantastic young man who is doing really incredible things. And every time I read something that he's written or posted, I stop and I think that at my age, I should be able to write that well with that much practice. But this young man is just gifted, very much so, like the swag name itself. But I do want to very carefully address Ms. Carthron's comments here tonight. I have been so fortunate to have been raised in a richly diverse community that I love. And that kind of language is unacceptable, unforgivable, something I would never utter. But more importantly, the attitudes and the behavior and the hearts of the people who think and say those things are pure evil. I have had the pleasure of having a young lady live with me for the last 2 months, and unfortunately, my private life has spilled out into my professional. I just want to be clear, I do not use that kind of language. I love my community. I would not be sitting here for as long as I've been if it weren't for the folks in this community who don't look like me, who supported me and have helped me be here and helped me do a good job, and my colleagues who help me and support me. I don't use that language any more than I have struck myself in the face. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
My turn. Sorry. Go red. That's all I can say. Just go red. This weekend and all weekends and every day is new mercy for me. I can't speak for everybody else. I've had the opportunity to see the ups and downs. Last week I went to celebrate a 102-year birthday party with a residence. Yes, I do that. I do home visits. And it was just exciting to see her in her right mind. It was truly exciting. And what even makes this better is when we can look beyond all of our faults and find the need that needs to be done in this community. For all of my public speakers, even the young lady who came hostile, there's a time and a place for everything. And we need to determine what is the right time. There are things that are going on behind the scenes that I wish I could tell everybody up here, but I can't. Saginaw is moving forward. My cheerleader is here tonight. And I don't care what you say, it is a new season, and it's beyond a new day. We are now entering into a whole different atmosphere. Don't you feel it? I feel it. So when I look out in the audience and I see people here, just like Mr. Robinson. He didn't know I was gonna hug him. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the Julians. I came in and Julian met me. So it's the little bitty things, y'all, that's gonna make this world a better place. If we continue to be hostile with each other, I told y'all 2 years ago, my theme is what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It hasn't changed. It just added on a new twist, saying it's a new season, it's a new day. Fresh anointing is coming our way. The spirit of power and prosperity. It's a new season. Thank you all. Thank everybody who came out to the expungement clinic on Saturday. We had oodles and oodles of people.
Yes.
We're gonna do it again. We found out that it wasn't just Saginaw. We had people from Indiana, Muskegon, California. We had people come just to see. A big shout out to the help group, to Rep. O'Neill, and to Dana Nessel's office, our Attorney General. And with that, take it over, Madam Clerk.
We are now at reports from the manager.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. First item I wanted to mention is the city is hosting a Memorial Cup informational meetings, actually 2 of them. And we had a couple speakers at our last meeting that talked about the Memorial Cup. Jimmy Green, who's working with the Saginaw Spirit, and Alex DePerry from the Old Town Business Association. So we wanted to mention this December 5th and December 7th, and we're co-hosting that with the DDA, STARS, the Saginaw Spirit, the Small Business Development Center, Go Great Lakes Bay Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation. It's Tuesday, December 5th, and Thursday, December 7th, both 5:30 to 7 p.m., and we are asking people to RSVP by December 1st if they plan to attend in person. So we encourage any businesses who want to be involved or want to learn more about the Memorial Cup to attend this session. It's an opportunity for businesses, and regardless of where you're located in the city, there's going to be a lot of people here, but we need to be accommodating to the individuals because we know they're looking for things to do all day. So we want businesses to be open the entire time if maybe they don't open earlier normally. We want to get that information out and help work with these organizations. I mentioned last time the DDA is funding a bus line to go all through downtown and Old Town through the DDA district to bring people from the Dow Event Center to those businesses. So hopefully people can attend that. And we do have a number of Memorial Cup legacy projects. We've talked about the Symphony Lane project, turning that into a food truck lane. I'm going to be meeting with the Saginaw Spirit next week because they are also planning to have pre- and post-game events, so we want to coordinate with them. So we're not competing, but we're working collaboratively with them. And there's also going to be some legacy projects in Hoyt Park. The Friends of Hoyt Park have, I think, more than $1 million worth of projects planned there. Hopefully they can get them done before the Memorial Cup because they're planned to be legacy projects. And we also have the Henry Marsh mural that we're planning to have done and ready for the Memorial Cup. So a lot of legacy projects. I know the mayor can tell you more, but we are going to be having cleanup efforts, additional ones in the spring. So if areas are interested in that, we talked about different business districts, get in touch with the manager's office, and we'll work with the Spirit and all of these organizations to get the downtown and neighboring areas cleaned up for this huge event. And I know if we want to coordinate it with the mayor's annual cleanup, team up to clean up too. So that will be a time where we can do a lot of work. The fairgrounds demolition project, that was brought up at the last meeting too. The bids for that demolition will go out by the end of the month. And in the document, we are requiring that the work be started on or after February 1st, 2024, or as directed by the city engineer. The work must be substantially complete on or before May 24th, 2024, as shown on the notice to proceed, and all work must be complete and ready for payment by June 30th, 2024. So we're looking for a pretty quick turnaround on that project. There was some additional engineering work done. I know we talked about this when we were having issues with getting all the agreements through HUD and everything, but that's done now. We worked with the engineers to get some additional specs on this, and it's going out to bid, so we're looking forward to that happening by mid-year next year. The city audit is proceeding as expected. We have a draft. We're gonna be reviewing that next week, and it'll come to you all in December for presentation. And then the last item I did want to mention, as we're going into holiday season and busy travel season, the mayor and I are on the MBS board, and Councilman Balls had served on that commission as well. Keep MBS in mind when you're traveling this season. It's a special municipality, and it's owned by the city of Saginaw, city of Midland, and the county of Bay. And we want to have more people travel through there because it's a great asset for us, and we want to keep it there. And check out their website. They do have a new widget on the front page that allows you to put in wherever you want to travel. It'll give you the best rates. So they have good rates. So just want to remind everyone that we're a part owner in that, so we want to promote it. All right. That concludes management update.
Do we have any questions? Like the manager said, there is a lot in the horizon coming up for the cup. And council persons, you will all be abreast shortly. No questions for the city manager? Sounds like a winner to me. Madam Clerk.
We are now at the consent agenda.
The agenda has been available at City Hall and on the city webpage and on SGTV, Channel 191. I need a motion to approve, leaving room for exceptions.
So moved.
Support. It's been moved in support. Do we have any exceptions?
Mayor,
Councilman Flores.
thank you. Number 5, please.
Are there any more exceptions? No more exceptions. We need to take a vote on those, all that we want to pass. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Madam Clerk.
Item number 5 is to approve the purchase with Schaffer Distributing Company for $9,098 for an outdoor harm reduction vending machine and its donation to the public libraries of Saginaw. Further, authorize the city manager to make additional purchases and donations of necessary products to keep the vending machine appropriately stocked. That was Councilman Flores.
Councilman Flores.
Thank you, Mayor. So with the settlement that had happened with Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and other organizations, I know that this was the only vendor that had accepted the proposal, but would there be other avenues that people, either that are in recovery or that have other abilities to reach out to folks in recovery, to dispense these outside of a vending machine?
Well, so the Saginaw County Health Department is putting together a group to discuss the potential use and try to collaborate with health organizations to do this, so I imagine that's one of the topics that they will discuss. Other points of delivery, or I don't know if individuals are able to pass these out, but if that's a possibility, I'm sure it's something they'll look at.
I know that other folks are able to pass out Narcan, just as citizens. So I would motion to postpone this vote until we get a greater report from the county. That's a motion on the floor.
There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Last and final time. Can I get a second?
I'm a second, because I want to go in discussion.
Somebody second?
I did.
Okay. Discussion, or do we just go to the vote?
Going to discussion.
Pardon me?
We're going to discussion.
That's correct.
So I just want some clarification on the award that we was giving. I know Manager Morales told us the amount that we were awarded. And so is there any stipulations on how soon we have to begin to use these funds? Or this committee, was it recommended by the county health department that we make these moves?
So I don't think that in the settlement there's, oh, Lori, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sit back down, Laura.
Yeah.
Steps in between.
So yes, I've had discussions with the health department. They're in favor of this. So is the public library. And it's just one means of starting to get the product out there to save lives. It's $9,000 of the $185 that we've received so far.
Yes.
Just curious, do we have anywhere else that is actively giving out the fentanyl test strips?
No,
No.
not that I'm aware of.
Okay, and I just would say that for me, that's a really important thing I think that we need to have in addition to the Narcan. I feel pretty strongly about that because it really could prevent people from even consuming the drug that is laced with fentanyl. And I know people who would probably be alive today if they had had access to those, so.
And that product is not free, so we will have to purchase that to put in the machine. So that's probably why it's not dispersed by any other agencies that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I just want to speak on the motion. I don't see no need to postpone the motion for the simple fact that we got $187,000, and that's just $10,000 that we putting in, in one particular place. So, and we're going to have more places, I'm sure, later as it goes down. I mean, this is just the first stop. It's right downtown, so I think it's a good idea to disperse those funds to that the library to get in the Narcan machine.
If I'm not mistaken, I heard Ms. Dorsey invite us to a function where that discussion was going to take place. I suggest we all attend it, or we make efforts to attend it, or somebody come back and report to the body what the discussion was all about. I just wanted to throw that in because so many times we sit at this table and we do selective hearing. We can't selective hear right now. This is real and this has got to happen and we got to do something. So I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in on that way in. Yes.
Yeah, just a comment, Councilman, that there are other agencies that are out there that are traveling around with Narcan. I actually, from the Great Lakes Bay Health Centers, Alberto, when you see him at an event, he has all the bags in front of him, and he's constantly distributing it to get it into folks' hands. And thank you, because I still have the 2 boxes at my house, and they are nasal, the nasal type now instead of the injection, I believe.
We also have the testing strips that are free through the heart pump drive.
The fentanyl strips, thank you. I was gonna mention that because I saw you in the
Right,
audience.
y'all can't go
I
back
know,
and
I'm
forth
sorry,
now.
I'm sorry,
Can't
yep,
go
I
back
know.
and forth.
I was actually gonna mention that. But anyways, thank you and so it is just another, and I've heard that some businesses that they've been dropping off as well. So as much of it, I think, as we can get it out and available, that's a good thing.
Yes, Councilman Flores.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there a timeline on spending the funds here?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Councilman.
And this is my final question, so I'm thankful Councilman Alsach brought that up because I knew I remembered you because I got my Narcan from you. So, with the location, was there research data that said that would be the best location for the outreach and for the free Narcan?
Well, I did have conversation with the county. They are looking at a different location as well. I think that will come later. The jail was suggested as one. And so I had asked the county if we should hold off, and they felt no reason that we should hold off, that we should get this out there.
Yes, Councilman Flores.
Thank you, Mayor. So I think the concern is if there's the ability to have actual people do either a canvassing campaign or, something where people are getting paid to do this versus a vending machine. Is that possible with these funds?
The library does plan to do some education. I think that'll come later in partnership with the health department.
But the vending machine is looked at like as an anonymous source, so you can just pull up there at the middle of the night, grab the supply you need, and take off. I think that's the important key with the vending machine.
And the vending machine's going to be in front of the,
Hoyt Library.
okay. All right, thank you. Motion to accept number 5. Oh, sorry.
No, there's a vote, we have a motion on the floor.
Yep.
And so we need to vote on that motion.
Yeah.
All those in favor of holding off, signify by saying aye. If disagree, signify by saying no.
Nay.
Nay. No and nay are the same thing, okay?
Mayor, we still have to do a roll call.
Signify by saying nay, I'm gonna make you feel good.
We still have to do a roll call.
Let's do a roll call.
Councilmember Williams.
Nay.
Councilmember Balls.
Nay.
Mayor Pro Tem Bench.
Nay.
Councilmember Ostash.
Nay.
Councilmember Garcia.
Nay.
Councilmember Flores.
Nay.
Councilmember Copeland.
Nay.
And Mayor Moore.
No.
You have 8 noes, 1 absent, motion is denied.
Now, Councilman Flores.
Oh, yeah, motion to accept item number 5.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Madam Clerk,
That takes us to board, commission, and committee reports.
do we have any reports? City manager gave our report from the airport control, so I'm saved.
Real quick.
Yes, Councilman Ostash.
Yeah, just a quick update. So next week, the Planning Commission is going to meet. We'll be meeting on Tuesday, the 28th at 6:30 PM. That is a board that I sit on for the city. Also, another board that I sit on in the community is the Potter Street Train Station Board. We are working on a project right now. It's called the Oral History Project. So check our Facebook page. There's links there for the document. We're trying to gather stories on anybody like, did your grandpa work at the railroad station? Or did you have an uncle? Or there's got to be, and we're going to start collecting all of this data. Also, too, one more thing, another board that I sit on is Great Lakes Bay Pride. We're doing our holiday social. It is going to be December 9th from 6 PM till 8 PM for just $25. We're going to have heavy hors d'oeuvres, a lot of conversation, and you do get a free drink with your ticket. So if anybody's interested, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more reports? Madam Clerk,
We are at appointment of board, commission, and committee members.
I need a motion to approve 1 through 5, leaving room for exception.
Support.
It's been moved in support. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Madam Clerk,
We are now at resolutions. We have one on the agenda. It's objecting to the transfer of tax reverted properties from Saginaw County.
I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. I just want to get it in. Happy Thanksgiving to all of the citizens of Saginaw and for you in the chamber right now. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. Madam Clerk,
We're at miscellaneous business.
do we have any motions that need to be made? Yes, Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. I would motion that all council members not be paid for this meeting, with exception to Councilmember Balls.
What?
It's a motion on the floor. Can you repeat what your motion is?
So all council members not be paid for this meeting, with exception to Councilmember Balls.
It's a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Do I have a second? Do I have a second? Final time. Do I have a second? The motion is dead. Any other motions? I need a motion to adjourn. And don't move. It's been moved. Is it second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.